When I think back on directors that made an impact on my development as a film fan, I think your standard Stanley Kubrick's, Quentin Tarantino's, or Orson Welles, the Christopher Nolans, but also Andy Sidaris, one of the strangest directors of all time. This man made a fortune revolutionizing the way videographers directed coverage of sports games, innovating things like the honey shot, which is where you just cut away from sports and grab a reaction of a hot chick. What may surprise you is that I could care less about sports, but I do like guns, tits, and an oiled up male lead. Anyhow, this video series is on Andy Sidaris. Andy Sidaris created a few movies before beginning his proper cycle, though they all share the DNA of what was to come, which is guns and women. Stacy was the first attempt about a race car driving private eye played by Anne Randall. Then he transitioned into Seven, a movie about 7 gangbanger mafiosas. For some reason though, I feel the real start of his cycle was Malibu Express. That's when Sidaris shed the dead weight of other distributors, and he was in full control of the product, top to bottom. He wrote the films, he directed the films, he produced the films, and put it all out through his own production distribution company, Malibu Bay Films. He had creative control in this sun-bleached world, where Andy Sidaris could truly be God, and oh boy, was he. I first saw these films back to back one time when I was still working at AMC. I'd watch these on my work computer while I waited for the final shows of the night to get out, and honestly, half of the time during the day when I was too hungover to work, I'd watch these too, and I fell in love with the worlds, or at least I found these very strange and entertaining. It's not that I was getting bricked up over the things, but it was more than that. I just found this cheesy world where drugs were being moved, boobs were being fondled, and crazy gunfights were king to be quite entertaining. Also, sometimes bro would just throw in stuff that he thought was cool. This film was yachts, for example, but later films would have remote control airplanes, sports gambling, and other hobbies of Sidaris. These films would eventually be put in a special microgenre by fans known as TripleB films. That is, bullets, bombs, and babes, not to be confused with the Better Business Bureau. I wonder if any scorned and horribly sexually harassed women on the set ever called Malibu Bay Films in to the Better Business Bureau, perhaps? Sadly, this film doesn't feature my favorite cigarette-smoking, emphysema-having babe Donna Hamilton, my favorite of Sidaris' many muses, and the one that starred in most of these films. Unusually for these films, this movie stars a male lead, Cody. You can actually physically look at posters for these films and watch as the male leads slowly fade away as the films go on. Alright, so Cody is a rich heir to a father who owns a yacht. This leads him to Malibu, of course. He's also a private investigator who loves to make love to women constantly.
We're in the slip next to you, and since we're going to be here for a while, we thought we might like to get to know you just a little bit better.
We think it's a neighborly thing to do.
He's investigating the people selling computer tech to Russia, but most importantly, he's here to party. Anyhow, this eventually leads him to the estate of socialite Lady Chamberlain, as he makes love to numerous women and fights dangerous tech terrorists. Our lead Cody is a private investigator who is too cool for the story, but uses the story to find women to hook up with, like Cop Lady, these random boat groupies, and of course, Countess Lucia.
You don't mind if I join you, do you? This is a great day.
He also has a hobby of racing supercars, sitting on docked yachts, and more. Cody is a point of view character for me. The dude jerk watching this movie. He is a hardened badass with a gun, with amazing deduction skills, deducing this convoluted plot while also seducing women along the way. He's also a hotshot, constantly presented with breasts with virtually no effort. One bad thing has happened to him in his life. His mom was killed in some kind of train crash, though honestly, this is almost entirely irrelevant to the story. He was also sexually assaulted.
Boy, That was really a horseshit trip to Palm Springs. I got my ass whipped, my borrowed car shot up, and I was raped.
Something that doesn't really come into play either, but whatever, I guess. They just kind of moved past that. Usually there's something of a rule where you don't want a character to be sexually assaulted in a film without a reason, because it just feels cheap. In Sidaris' world, it's very cheap, but who cares? Get back to the action.
Luciana has me involved in espionage.
Cody also narrates the film with some really awful ADR, which is kind of funny. Cody basically joins the Chamberlain family, but doesn't really do anything when he joins the family except smash half of them and sit around. It isn't till the end of the film that the implication is that he was actually investigating. Cody is the kind of guy who drinks a beer at the gym.
Hey Luke, take a look at that chump over there.
Yeah, I know. She's into the little boys. I don't know if she's seeing them. She needs to get herself a real man.
Update.
Upon further review, Cody is actually drinking a Pepsi, not a beer, but I refuse to fix the video. Me, I never go to the gym, so who am I to judge? I do feel that may lead to some dehydration issues. Any blonde woman in this movie is getting cracked by Cody. I can't tell any of them apart, which kind of made the movie hard to watch. I would be shocked if this production had anything near a modern intimacy coordinator.
I'll give it my best shot.
Cody makes secretive pornography with his secret camera. Cody calls a sex line where they're all in like leather outfits, but it turns out one of the sex line ladies is an informant.
Get on the horn and get the police over here to the Chamberlain house as soon as possible. It's a homicide.
God. I wish you could come through this phone right now.
Shane is the villain of the film. He's a pornographer with a secret camera, taking videos of mostly Cody, presumably. After he dies, everyone's sad. Their dear friend Shane was actually a Russian spy, but they almost immediately get over it as Shane was kind of a bitch and a Russian, so who cares?
I do wish Luciana hadn't killed Shane. It's such an inconvenience.
Lucina is the other criminal. She bangs everyone, then gets away clean from the ordeal, and everybody just kind of laughs about it. This movie has a weird tone and is lighthearted almost to a fault. Cody and all the characters excitedly try to kill every villain in their sight brutally. The bumbling ghouls kill a kid just for fun, I guess, and the movie doesn't dwell on this at all. These movies have a strange aura, and this is one that probably is more on the reserved side of Sidaris' filmography. Cody wants to bang Stuart, thinking she's hot, despite actually being a drag queen at one point. This is lined with homophobic jokes, but also, like, the film doesn't call him gay per se, which is shocking, especially given the era. There are less jokes, more eye-rolling and chuckles from our leads. It's mostly just really awkward.
Did you hear that she got raped this afternoon by 2 homosexuals?
Many of the characters fit the archetype of either hunky man or equally attractive woman, with the random exception being the hillbilly characters. These movies make pretty much no sense, and this one is one of the more reasonable films, if I'm being honest. How does one attach a tone to something like this? It's a spy booby movie and basically porn without penetration. There's a helicopter car chase where the lady is trying to bang Cody despite the life and death circumstances. Probably can't show this on YouTube, so I'll just blur it and leave it up to your imagination, but you pretty much get the idea.
Jesus, would you put those things away? Look what he's making it do. That's disgusting. Blow him away. I can't. All I see is tits.
The music is strange, like old honky-tonk bluegrass music by Henry Stelensky, a man who worked with legends like Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and Bob Dylan. Why this was the angle they tackled for this movie is so odd and out of the blue. The music isn't bad, don't get me wrong, he is skilled, but it isn't what comes to mind when I think of action sex thriller.
He left his pony somewhere down in Texas.
Craig Stewart and Howard Wexler edited the film, and it's definitely had some stuff that needed to be cut, but also a lot of that stuff is what's selling the movie. It's one of those things where I think they physically cut and assembled the film, but under strict supervision from Sidaris. This film, like his others, feels like such singular visions. It's hard to say what work these two did beyond the workman operations of the machinery. It was done well enough, it's never too abrupt, but man, if this was done by a major studio, I think the film would have been carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey and been about 30 minutes long. Editor Howard Wexler also shot the film. Why hire a team when you can just have one or two guys do the whole thing, I guess. Like the editing, it's shot fine. I actually largely like the lighting too, but I'm just a little more easy on films from this period on that front. I love the shot composition and film look from films from the 1980s, and for that category, it's fairly adequate. This movie is unhinged. The hardest part about reviewing a film like this is finding shots without boobs, pubic hair, or ass. Sidaris is an equal opportunist pervert, though. He shows plenty of Cody's body parts as well.
Go ahead. Go for it. Make my day.
The plot is more or less nothing. It is not the focus. It's a vessel for boobs and guns. I haven't seen these movies in a few years, but I have a feeling I'll be echoing these sentiments with each entry of this series that I cover. The plot here is drip-fed, so at least the film breaks down the plot again at the end in case you wanted to know what you just experienced, except re-explained while the characters laugh hysterically.
You see, Jonathan was convinced that Liza killed Shane because of the information he got from Maid Marian.
This is only part of the ending. The film, for some reason, spins its wheels for about 15 minutes after the actual plot ends. These films are weird, but only get weirder as we dig deeper into the mind of Andy Sidaris, the strange and eccentric TV entrepreneur turned enterprising filmmaker. Next up is Hard Ticket to Hawaii.